Hi, Trace.
Hi.
So you just purchased an emergency session with me. We did that. And now today you purchased a private healing session with me. And you get access to me every day all you want. So I was wondering why
Well,
we're doing
I
this.
got it was it was actually an inner kind of command inwardly, and my intention was I'm honestly, obviously I want it for me, but I'm also I felt like it was an opportunity because these sessions are so intense. I thought it was an opportunity to help humanity. And I'm quite frustrated that more people are not seeing you and hearing you. And I want to use this opportunity because both you and Marvin and your healing sessions are such an opportunity. And I have a memory, sorry, just one more thought. I have a memory of another lifetime where I did not do this. I had an opportunity, whatever, I chose apathy, I chickened out. And so I am here, you know, to help other people. I know, I don't know how that comes off sounding, but I really mean it. I think regret is the worst. You've said it, and I've actually experienced that, and so here's a golden opportunity to push through whatever the heck is preventing people from seeing you and living in empowerment to help the rest of humanity. I've seen your work. I've done your work. I am living in the United States and I am seeing a complete change in the way people are relating to each other. Certainly, there's a small population that is not a part of this, but there is talks and, you know, there's a community happening. And I've seen you do work around race relations and empowering individuals without power. And it's having an effect, your work.
That's good. But this is your session. And we can use it whatever way we want, but you know how I get impressions as as soon as
Yeah,
I get them.
yeah,
And maybe you can explain to because you're gonna let me record this, obviously, and share this, right?
yeah.
So I'm hard on you, right? And we have a good laugh and everything as we do the work because you know how it works. Well, what's interesting, as soon as you show up, I'm asking myself, why is she in a bed coat? Why is she in a house coat? It looks
Oh,
like your robe. And I don't know if it's just a pattern or if it's an engram. And so I'm like, do I just like mention that? It's very lovely, but to me it looks like you're in uh, um a robe. And then I'm saying, well, I hope the people watching this don't think that she's sick. So just please tell everybody that you're in perfect health and everything, that
yeah.
you're
No,
not
I
chronic.
actually, yeah, I chose this for the colors and the
Okay.
design. I
So
like
that's what you think,
it.
but you think you chose it for the colors, but you're telling me something in energy. We tap into another lifetime that you've never looked at before, where you were sick and failing and weak. And so it's interesting that you showed up in something that looks like a house robe to me, where you're wrapped in this thing that looks like you're in a, you know, you're always in your bed coat. That's what I'm seeing. So,
Mm-hmm.
which is really interesting because we've tapped on lots of lifetimes and we've never um, tapped into this. So, you want to do a tap on it? Let's just see if you feel it because you've been doing the tap so long that you feel it as soon as like I give you one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We release. We release being bedridden in all moments.
We release being bedridden in all moments. We release being bedridden in all moments. We release being bedridden in all moments. We release being bedridden in all moments. We release being bedridden in all moments.
So I have a sense people don't come to me for sessions because they really don't want to see what's going on. It's like too overwhelming. But
Yeah,
what they don't understand is at some point they are going to have to face themselves. And you might as well do it with someone spotting it, because isn't it easier to go through it um, with the help than just struggle through it?
it's way, way faster. And yes, it's helpful to
Well,
have you.
emotionally, isn't it less taxing, except for, the guff I give you? But that's just part of it. The guff I give you to like get to that is just it's it's related to what needs to be released. So I could tease you about looking like you're wearing, that could be embarrassing. That embarrassment that I'm saying, oh, you dress like you're in a house coat. That's embarrassing on the surface. But what it's really uncovering is the pain and anguish of that whole lifetime. See? You know
Yeah,
this.
I'm starting to sense that lifetime. And
We
yeah,
release the futility of not getting better in all moments.
we release the futility of not getting better in all moments. We release the futility of not getting better in all moments. We release the futility of not getting better in all moments. We release the futility of not getting better in all moments. We release the futility of not getting better in all moments.
We release trying to convince. Now, this isn't this lifetime, this is that lifetime. We release trying to convince ourselves that we're not going to die in all moments.
We release trying to convince ourselves that we're not going to die in all moments. We release trying to convince ourselves that we're not going to die in all moments. We release trying to convince ourselves that we're not going to die in all moments. We release trying to convince ourselves that we're not going to die in all moments. We release trying to convince ourselves that we're not going to die in all moments.
We remove all. Now, the engrams are the past life memories I see, and the muscle memory is you reliving what you reliving it over and over again as if, you know, out of habit, right?
Mm.
We remove all engrams and muscle memories of looming towards our deathbed in all moments.
We remove all engrams and muscle memory of looming towards our deathbed in all moments. We remove all engrams and muscle memory of looming towards our deathbed in all moments. We remove all engrams and muscle memory of looming towards our deathbed in all moments. We remove all engrams and muscle memory of looming towards our deathbed in all moments. We remove all engrams and muscle memory of looming towards our deathbed in all moments.
We release the belief that all is lost in all moments.
We release the belief that all is lost in all moments. We release the belief that all is lost in all moments. We release the belief that all is lost in all moments. We release the belief that all is lost in all moments. We release the belief that all is lost in all moments.
We release dying and fright in all moments.
We release dying and fright in all moments. We release dying and fright in all moments. We release dying and fright in all moments. We release dying and fright in all moments. We release dying and fright in all moments.
So, what I want you to do is, I want you to, can you tap into that lifetime a little bit more? Can you, I know you're really good at visualizing things, but even if this was your first session, imagine being on your deathbed, moments away from dying, and the fear and regret, there might be a acceptance, but you don't know what to expect. So when people are going through life and they're in denial of their issues, the main thing is that they're not afraid really of dying. If they realize that you just cross over, that would be fine. But they're really afraid of being separated from their consciousness, which isn't possible, at least not in this way. We release the fear of being separated from our consciousness in all moments.
We release the fear of being separated from our consciousness in all moments. We release the fear of being separated from our consciousness in all moments. We release the fear of being separated from our consciousness in all moments. We release the fear of being separated from our consciousness in all moments. We release the fear of being separated from our consciousness in all moments.
Okay, so I'm tuning into that lifetime that we're talking about, where you were chronic and stuff. What happened is you were lifted out of your body, but you didn't know what to do. So you popped out of the body and you stayed around your home for at least 3 days or something, um, because you didn't know what to do. So what you've been doing is been living this life, and I'm wondering if other people do this too, living in this life between worlds, like living as a ghost, mourning your own um,
Totally resonate.
demise.
Yeah,
We
live
release,
this life. Live in this
yeah,
life.
you live in this life. I've seen it where it's like, Therese, just you're so freaking dynamic. Just go out there and just take the world by the storm, and you're like in your house coat. But it's because you're living in the in between of being a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
We release mourning our own death in all moments.
We release mourning our own death in all moments. We release mourning our own death in all moments. We release mourning our own death in all moments. We release mourning our own death in all moments. We release mourning our own death in all moments.
I think this might resonate with a lot of people. They might identify with this. We we release. Oh, okay. We release living in between worlds in all moments.
We release living in between worlds in all moments. We release living in between worlds in all moments. We release living in between worlds in all moments. We release living in between worlds in all moments. We release living in between worlds in all moments.
We release
I,
being a ghost. What? What?
I, 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 I've been missing some world. I've been missing some
Yeah,
love.
that's this. So what you've done is you've put on the glasses, the rose-colored glasses of being in that in between world, and you've been trying to make an impact here. It's like
Yeah.
you're wondering, why are you considered so mousy? Why don't people take you seriously? Why don't they hear you? Because they can't hear a ghost. So what was that tab I just gave you?
Release being a ghost. We release being a ghost in all moments. 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 We release being a ghost in all moments.
We remove ourselves from purgatory in all moments.
We remove ourselves from purgatory in all moments. We remove ourselves from purgatory in all moments. We remove ourselves from purgatory in all moments. We remove ourselves from purgatory in all moments. We remove ourselves from purgatory in all moments.
Okay, so I'm seeing another scenario open up for you where you're in the water and you're like a deep sea diver, you got your fins on and everything, or something like that. You're just deep under. You could have like been catapulted from a boat, but there's this net, there's something holding onto your ankle and keeping you from, you see above you, you see the surface, you can't get to it because you're being kept
Oh,
down.
heart's beating. Yeah,
We release
yeah.
being we release being trapped under in our moments.
We release being trapped under in all moments. We release being trapped under in all moments. We release being trapped under in all moments. We release being trapped under in all moments. We release being trapped under in all moments.
We remove all blockages to getting to the light in all moments.
We remove all blockages to getting to the light in all moments. We remove all blockages to getting to the light in all moments. We remove all blockages to getting to the light in all moments. We remove all blockages to getting to the light in all moments. We remove all blockages to getting to the light in all moments.
We release thrashing in the darkness in all moments.
We release thrashing in the darkness in all moments. We release thrashing in the darkness in all moments. We release thrashing in the darkness in all moments. We release thrashing in the darkness in all moments. We release thrashing in the darkness in all moments.
So when that shows up in this lifetime is, when you like wake up in the middle of the night and you got the blankets and you're like tossing and turning and you're like, you got one leg in the blankets and then you wake up like all antsy and you don't know what to do with it. That's this lifetime. Do you see that?
Yeah, and it explains a lot of, yeah, I'm thinking of things in this life. Yeah.
So we release it. We release the struggle to breathe. Your breath is more shallow than it needs to be, too, by the way. This will open it up. We release struggling to breathe in all moments.
We release struggling to breathe in all moments. We release struggling to breathe in all moments. We release struggling to breathe in all moments. We release struggling to breathe in all moments. We release struggling to breathe in all moments.
So I've seen in past lifetimes, I don't know how this relates, but it relates to you like you fight the wrong thing. Like you're fighting circumstance and you're not addressing people or issues. So we release tangling our own lives in all moments.
We release tangling our own lives in all moments. We release tangling our own lives in all moments. We release tangling our own lives in all moments. We release tangling our own lives in all moments. We release tangling our own lives in all moments.
We release we release mocking up a nemesis in all moments.
We release mocking up a nemesis in all moments. We release mocking up a nemesis in all moments. We release mocking up a nemesis in all moments. We release mocking up a nemesis in all moments. We release mocking up a nemesis in all moments.
So there is a belief, you have a core belief, and I think it's a universal core belief that other people care about you, not in the sense like your family cared or whatever, but we're getting to the point of awareness where people don't really, they're indifferent to other people in general. Not because they're not trying to be good people and do the right thing. It's because they're so obsessed with their own journey that other people and groups and activities are just props in their own game of life. And so when you take it personally, when someone else is going about their game of life and putting something on you, it's not really about you, it's about their own internal struggle. So when you take it personally, what you're doing is instead of just tangling your own life, you're engaging with that other person's interactions and then like using their life as a prop to tangle yourself more.
Yeah, I see.
But this is happening universally. This is what everybody is doing. This is why this work is so important. Not it's not just the taps, it's a great way to untangle yourself. But for you to have the awareness of seeing yourself not as just a binary person, struggling with a whole bunch of binary people and just being a chaos, seeing the order of every single individual person trying or not trying to tangle or untangle themselves. So that's all that's going on. If you look at the world like a visualization of all these people, and they're like one big knot, this whatever you call karma or this, collective, and they're trying to get themselves free. But the more they're frustrated, the more they tangle themselves up. So the SFT tapping is a way to untangle yourself from other people so you can take a breath and realize that, the work that you do is for yourself, to empower yourself. Then once you're free, you can teach everyone else how to untangle themselves. The more knots you get out of this collective, the more the collective can breathe and be freer and figure it out. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes total sense. I I sometimes don't know how to help other people get
Because
free.
because you have to get yourself free, and you have to, and this is huge for you to look at it from this vantage point. I always try to bring people up to a higher vantage point so they can get out of whatever they're dealing with and loosen the tangles, the karmic tangles, whatever. And lots of times they're just, nooses around their own neck. So so I wish it was just about the taps and just, oh, Jen's got a book of taps, let's get the book of taps. That's enough. And you see a lot of people who I get them free of one knot and then they don't want anything to do with the work anymore. It's like they got free a little bit and then they don't want to do any more work. That's the frustrating. But but there's ways to get out of the struggle. It's like you have to be so paralyzed in your
Yeah,
life or in so much pain that you reach out of like desperation.
yeah,
We don't want people to have that much pain, right?
yeah,
So, anyways,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
do you want to explain what happened when you messaged me about your tooth? Now you've been going to the dentist for this for
Yeah,
how long?
I did
Years?
years, and but the last week was yeah, it was really, the pain was okay. So I messaged you for an emergency session, and
Which is
you
which is which is part of something I offer on the website as an emergency session as opposed to a one-on-one session. I just tune in and do my thing and things I give someone
and
taps maybe.
yes, it's and it works right away. But this was really cool, Jen, because I you right away you told me about this lifetime. Do you want me to be specific about the life? I don't care if
People want to know.
yeah, because so you mentioned this lifetime where I was tortured, and my teeth were being pulled. And I went there immediately when you told me that. But the cool thing was this time I saw you there. You were there. And but people know you have their back when you're working with them because they feel it. But I had this visual, kinesthetic, and emotional sense, and energetic sense. You were there helping me through that and working like mad, pushing the energy away. And I swear to you, so I called my dentist Sunday, and she returned, and I told her the pain was a 10. Okay. So it was a 10. So after that, and we worked, Jen, what, 5 minutes? Now you kept working with me, kept sending me taps after that. And so you were still working with me, but the pain, I mean, totally decreased. And the whole mouth. And now today it's been adjusting. I've been massaging I've got like this new freedom in my face. It's like,
So, so what I saw when you called up for a toothache, and I tuned in right away, and I see the engram of you. We know you've been a spy in a past lifetime, and we've seen your torture sessions before. So we see you, struggling with that. But the core issue in this lifetime was I saw them pull out this one tooth, and the pain was so excruciating, and they snapped off the root of that tooth. And that was the moment you lost all conviction in who you were as a as an agent, as a professional, as your purpose, even as a human being. And you just wilted. And I felt them take that from you. So we could have gone through tons of tabs, but we just address it in energy, right?
and you're saying it now because it's another level of the way you're saying it. And yeah, it's contributing somehow to some kind of attitude I have about humanity. So yeah,
Yeah, it's like you want to help them, but you resent them. And
yeah,
you keep yourself apart because of that
yeah.
lifetime. You were helping everyone and they weren't as smart as you, and they didn't know how easy it was to get over on each other because you had all these double agent tactics of getting through the cracks and everything. So you still see people as um, not very not very aware, but on some level, I'm here doing the work, and not a lot of people are taking me up on this offer of get rid of their pain and everything. So it feels
And I
like
just want, yeah, that's frustrating. I want to say that what I saw inwardly when you were there with me, releasing the pain and the energy from that experience, was your love. That's what I feel when I work with you. It's love, but it's a fierce, badass love. And you feel really safe when you're doing energy work the way you do. And I look at other things out there, and I just wouldn't trust anyone else to do that.
so
I wouldn't
here's
trust anyone.
so here's the thing: the love is a conduit. The love is we're all swimming in this love soup. The reason I can see everyone so easily is A, because I hold the vibration of everyone's pain because I've had that similar vibration of pain in this lifetime. So I've had a lot of pain. I've been lucky enough to have a lot of experiences of pain and abuse so I can relate energetically to anything anyone's been going through. That's the one thing. The other thing is that I'm not sure people really do want to get rid of their pain. I don't know if they really want to be empowered. I think they're just playing a one-upmanship with other people. I see it on different levels. Oh, I'm a psychic, I can tell you stuff. And then people use that ability to instill fear in other people. Or I'm, I know things. So they have some spiritual awareness, but they're not checking themselves. And they put out things that are not vetted with their own inner compass. Like a lot of things I hear in the spiritual community is so off base. And it's so frustrating because it becomes a way to enslave individuals at a higher echelon. Like,
Yeah.
oh, let God's will, it's God's will. Don't help others because it's God's will. Well, that's creating an apathy. And they're talking about a razor's edge spiritual understanding of detachment. But detachment is not just walking away and letting someone suffer. Basically, we've all had enough suffering in these lower worlds to get ourselves out if it was a level playing field. But now, because humans are so ignorant to spiritual law and how things operate in energy, they're at the mercy of these savvy power mongers who know how to manipulate that way. So what Marvin and I are doing with your help and others is we're educating people how to be savvy in energy so they don't, they're not duped by the average psychic medium or whatever. And then another way you see it is someone feeling the suffering of the collective. Now that's all disease is right? Feeling your own stuff exacerbated by everyone. We're in this love soup. So if you're a loving person, you're going to feel the pain of others and you're going to like not know them better. You're going to collect it in your own body. That's what dis-ease is. So instead of understanding energetically what's going on, they'll just want to feel sorry for themselves, get attention and say, oh, I'm an empath. For me, I'm special. Everybody's special. Everyone's a psychic. Everyone's a medium. Everyone can channel higher truth. If you channel an ego, you're going to get misinformation. And a lot of people who are doing channeling do a lot of damage because they think anyone who channels is channeling higher truth. And that's not the case. Everything's corrupted unless it comes from your inner compass of your absolute highest self.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you're touching on so many things. And I mean, I think if, I know what I've gotten out of these working with you is, and it's kind of cool to be able to discern better about energy and see energies working and to be able to help with the tapping sessions. You feel like you're helping, and there's so many benefits, but it's challenging staying
Trace,
awake. And
Trace,
yeah,
I know you say that, and it's so frustrating for me to hear that it's hard work. It's hard work, but you think about going through another cycle of a Nazi regime.
yeah.
That's more than tiring to watch people suffer and die. There's suffering going on in everywhere. There's starvation, there's humiliation, there's trafficking. And to say something's hard means that creature comforts of just being tired. It's not worth bothering. You're telling humanity it's not worth it.
I'm trying to say it's totally worth it, to be awake. It's totally worth it.
Oh, you're talking about spiritually awake.
Yeah.
I don't think it's hard to be awake. I think it's hard to see people so close. People are so close to like connecting with their higher self. There's such a little sinewy veil between them and truth, and they fight it. They won't do a private session. It's too much money. I'll just do some tapping. I won't do the work. But they're denying. They're romanticizing lower consciousness.
And it becomes so clear once you have a session, like 5 minutes into this session, I was like, oh man, I'm never not doing sessions for years again. It's like a checkup with a real doctor.
Do you remember? Um, by the way, what I do is real.
I'm calling
You
you
said
a
a
real doctor. I'm
oh
calling
oh I
you a
see.
real doctor.
Um, yeah. So when we released your tooth yesterday, I felt all the stagnant energy of that past trauma coming out of the gums and releasing like pus in the in the mouth. And you felt that drain? Did you consciously
Yeah.
feel that drain? Okay.
Yes.
So, but what's frustrating with me is the human consciousness and how stubborn it is. if you recall about, I'd say about 4 years ago when I was living as your neighbor and coming over to your house, and you had um, dislocated your arm in the backyard and you wanted to go to the doctor right then. And I made you do taps.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It was kind of similar to the tooth issue.
Yeah, could I just say to the listener, this was a searing, burning pain that felt like I had just dislocated my shoulder by, swinging on a tree. And I can handle pain. And I was worried and wanted to go to the hospital. Yes. And then
Yeah.
you did the energy work. I know that you're not just doing taps with me. You're moving the stagnant energy, the pain, and then you uncovered all these emotional issues, these past life issues. So that's the thing it's like whatever pain you're having, it's like it's for a reason. It's a good thing. It's gonna uncover the issues, working with you.
So we sat there outside and you kept doing taps and to release it, and I was feeding you the taps of the emotional issues. What I was seeing is, oh, no wonder your shoulder is dislocated all the time. In the socket where your shoulder sits is a whole bunch of emotional trauma, and it's like fighting for space. The socket of your arm can't get in, the bone of your arm can't get in the socket because of all the emotional issue. So we emptied out the emotional issues that are there, which, by the way, have mass and weight. If we had the instruments to weigh this emotional issue, you could put it on a scale and you could see it has mass and weight. So we released it, and then your arm went right back in. How did that work?
Yeah. Yeah, well, what I was paying attention to was the searing pain completely went away. And I think it was a pretty subtle movement that put it in place. So what I noticed so dramatically was the pain went from really, to nothing.
So
So
if you would have went to a medical doctor, that pain might have stayed there. They might have given you medication and masked it. You wouldn't have gotten rid of the emotional release. And has that ever happened again?
no, and I do have greater flexibility because of
Mhm.
it. So yeah,
You know
from
who
that.
you know who I love working on is dancers and singers and artists who have plateaued, professional athletes who have plateaued and they don't know why. Usually it's a past life engram of something happening, or they hold stagnant energy in that spot. Like when a singer, their voice goes, they're going up an octave and their voice goes you know, out of note. There's a past life trauma in there. So I love to be able to just shift that, and then they don't have a problem with that note anymore. Or if an athlete has trouble with a movement, and I see what the past life trauma is, a certain movement, a certain individual, if they're playing a team sport, a certain dynamic is triggering a past life failure, and it's showing up in their physical body now. If they can get past that, if I can release that for them, which is really easy for me to see, I see the past life death or failure, release that, and then there's no more interaction like that. A lot of people who reach, um, they get burnout, they reach a plateau, they can't go forward, they can't, like Simone Biles went through it, right?
Yeah.
It's a past life trauma where they're getting to a point where in a past lifetime they were killed, they failed, they died, they went to battle, whatever. Because
Yeah.
a team sport is lots of times conjuring up going to battle. That's the same mindset. So people who like the battlefield, a lot of people who are into the Vikings lifetimes will like contact sports because they enjoy that battle and everything. So it's frustrating that more people don't accept all the ways their past lives are interfering with their freedom in this lifetime.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Okay,
I mean,
so I got a tap for you because I'm tuning in. This is your session. I do want to honor you with that. So I'm seeing all these all these rings on you, like containing you. And it's like there's a phrase being unhinged that has a negative connotations with it. But being unhinged is freedom. It's like you got freedom. So lots of times the verbiage in our language is meant to keep us trapped. People should pay attention to what they say, like, oh, I'm in hell, oh, my back is broken, all this. Those are all past lifetimes. Did we remove you from purgatory from that? Did we do that one?
yeah, we did that one. Yeah.
Okay. We release the fear of being unhinged in all moments.
We release the fear of being unhinged in all moments. We release the fear of being unhinged in all moments. We release the fear of being unhinged in all moments. We release the fear of being unhinged in all moments. We release the fear of being unhinged in all moments.
So a lot of people will spend their whole lifetime trying to keep it together, right? Keep it together, keep it together. What they're doing is using their sacred energy. The most sacred tool they have is their own intentions. And instead of using it for their own purpose to empower themselves, they waste it by keeping themselves together. What do people think? I can't do a session with her. That's going to like, what are other people going to think? What if they find out? And they treat what we do here as a dirty little secret. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Um, mm, 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 mm. So there's an internal struggle by people think they want to be free, but then they spend all their energy trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
We release the need to keep it together in all moments.
We release the need to keep it together in all moments. We release the need to keep it together in all moments. We release the need to keep it together in all moments. We release the need to keep it together in all moments. We release the need to keep it together in all moments.
So here's the truth. When people are free, when they've been like rigid or you know worrying about what people think, and then they let themselves go, the only sensation that that comes close to that letting themselves go is dying and bleeding out and releasing the spirit. So people are afraid of letting themselves go. And that's
Wow.
why there's such negative connotations on it. Like when you say, oh, she's let herself go, that means she's gained weight, she doesn't care about herself. But when you actually let yourself go, you let the self go and you let the higher self expound.
That's huge. That's really important. Wow.
Um, we release we release holding ourselves in lower consciousness in all moments.
We release holding ourselves in lower consciousness in all moments. We release holding ourselves in lower consciousness in all moments. We release holding ourselves in lower consciousness in all moments. We release holding ourselves in lower consciousness in all moments. We release holding ourselves in lower consciousness in all moments.
We release the fear of letting go in all moments.
We release the fear of letting go in all moments. We release the fear of letting go in all moments. We release the fear of letting go in all moments. We release the fear of letting go in all moments. We release the fear of letting go in all moments.
So I'm seeing a bundle, and there's like the main thing holding the bundle together. There's a word for it. I don't know what the word for it is. I don't have a reference point, but I'm seeing it. Um, we we free the bundle.
We free the bundle in all moments. 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 We free the bundle in all moments.
Now I'm seeing a beautiful mast, a beautiful sailboat with all these beautiful um, masts. I've masked the sheets.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I'm seeing people usually are just all locked up with just they're not even going with the tides because they don't even have their masts up. So they're not even tuned into what's going on with the wind or whatever. They're just like dead in the water, right? We
Yeah.
release being dead in the water in all moments.
We release being dead in the water in all moments. We release being dead in the water in all moments. We release being dead in the water in all moments. We release being dead in the water in all moments. We release being dead in the water in all moments.
So did you just have the visual of guiding like the multitudes out of
Yes.
I saw that.
Yes. Yeah.
See? We unfurl all our masts in all moments.
We unfurl all our masts in all moments. We unfurl all our masts in all moments. We unfurl all our masts in all moments. We unfurl all our masts in all moments. We unfurl all our masts in all moments.
So I see the river Styx, which is a precursor to the belief of the um, well, Hades. It's the river Styx is a so it's like a river into hell. And then I'm seeing all these rats in these ships, and it's like people are afraid of being rats leaving the ship because they. And I'm seeing a ship where all these rats they leave the ship and they're drowning, so they're scurrying back to the depths of hell as a form of preventing drowning in higher consciousness.
Wow.
Uh, right. We release scurrying to hell in all moments.
We release scurrying to hell in all moments. We release scurrying to hell in all moments. We release scurrying to hell in all moments. We release scurrying to hell in all moments. We release scurrying to hell in all moments.
We release the fear of drowning in higher consciousness in all moments.
We release the fear of drowning in higher consciousness in all moments. We release the fear of drowning in higher consciousness in all moments. We release the fear of drowning in higher consciousness in all moments. We release the fear of drowning in higher consciousness in all moments. We release the fear of drowning in higher consciousness in all moments.
So I'm seeing people who are becoming more aware, and every single one of them wants to be a guru. They want people to sit at their feet and think they're wonderful. And what's happening at the core of that is that they're afraid of my nose is really tickling part of the energy. They they're afraid because they've been told in higher consciousness that atoms get scattered to the wind and they no longer cease to be, which is a lie. Do you see how that lie is terrifying people? So what they do is like they try to stay in the lower worlds as long as possible by running and fighting and like negative crap. And then when they want to be more enlightened, the way they upgrade that is at least they expect people to like pay attention to their ego and worship them. Because when someone worships you, you've seen that. You've seen people in the around me like try to worship me. And what it does is it tethers a string between the person being worshipped and the person worshiping. So there's no difference in whether you're being worshipped or worshiping. You're still bound to the lower worlds. So when people are trying to get followers and trying to get people to validate that they're spiritual, they're still terrified of really transcending and they want other people to hold them down. Are you getting what
Mm,
I'm saying here?
yeah, I'm getting it.
Mm, 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 mm. We cut all mm, we cut all ties of worship. Now this is on both sides of being worshipped and worshiping. So we're going to tether this all over the world. It's almost like this rope, this sinewy kind of crap. And you can see the whole collective, and you can almost feel a blade, um, a real sharp blade going over the through the collective and breaking all these tethers. We tether all ties of worship in all moments.
We tether all ties of worship in all moments. We tether all ties of worship in all moments. We tether all ties of worship in all moments. We tether all ties of worship in all moments. We tether all ties of worship in all moments.
So if you were to like spend a lifetime trying to tell someone, don't worship this person, they don't want it, it doesn't help you, it doesn't help them, or you try to, or they're worshiping someone who's unworthy, and you try to tell them, what they'll do is they'll fight you. They'll hang on tighter to that rope, and then they'll start attacking you. So the SFT tapping is a way to untether that worship without naming anyone as the instigator. Do you see what I mean? You know what I
Yeah,
mean. Say it a
yeah.
different way for me.
Well, I mean, using the tapping, using the PB&J protocol, it's a very clean way to, get the peanut butter and jelly away from each other. I mean, two things.
Okay, but people here might not know what the peanut butter and jelly protocol is. The P&J protocol is a um, protocol that I wrote to use the SFT tapping to separate two things that are always associated with each other but want their own sovereignty. So if peanut butter didn't want to be associated with jelly anymore, they would do these taps, and then they wouldn't have a relationship with each other anymore that wasn't based on love. So the imagination is really helpful in going into the realms that we go into. That's why in this world that's become so controlling and manipulative, the arts have been shut down, the creativity, the music, all these forms of originality have been shut down because those are ways to connect yourselves with higher consciousness without having to think about it, right?
Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. We take back everything that was taken from us in our moments.
We take back everything that was taken from us in all moments. We take back everything that was taken from us in all moments. We take back everything that was taken from us in all moments. We take back everything that was taken from us in all moments. We take back everything that was taken from us in all moments.
Okay, so you have done that many times in the SFT tapping protocols. You've done that one. Here's one that I don't think you've done so much. We take back everything that we willingly gave away in our moments.
We take back everything that we willingly gave away in all moments. We take back everything that we willingly gave away in all moments. We take back everything that we willingly gave away in all moments. We take back everything that we willingly gave away in all moments. We take back everything that we willingly gave away in all moments.
So at a higher vantage point, there's no ownership anyways. So it's not like you're not, taking something back that you promised someone. It's like being guiled out of your sovereignty.
I
Um,
thought,
we give back everything that we have taken from others in our moments.
We give back everything that we have taken from others in all moments. We give back everything that we have taken from others in all moments. We give back everything that we have taken from others in all moments. We give back everything that we have taken from others in all moments. We give back everything that we have taken from others in all moments.
We free the cows of slaughter in all moments.
We free the cows of slaughter in all moments. We free the cows of slaughter in all moments. We free the cows of slaughter in all moments. We free the cows of slaughter in all moments. We free the cows of slaughter in all moments.
So there's a lot of inhumane practices out there that create suffering. And that suffering that's created is used as fuel by nefarious actors. So, so there's power mongers out there that like to create outrage. And the more they create, the more they enjoy creating more, it seems. And like it's like how much more outrage can they create? Well, if you go back a few decades, they can create internment camps and create a lot of suffering. Well, that suffering is fuel for power. So they're directly related.
Wow.
We got all the hordes of suffering in all moments.
We got all the hordes of suffering in all moments. We got all the hordes of suffering in all moments. We got all the hordes of suffering in all moments. We got all the hordes of suffering in all moments. We got all the hordes of suffering in all moments.
Suffering is eradicated. So, on a vantage point, we're doing this with the intention. And it's like someone who's watching this for the first time saying, they can argue with me saying, you're one person, you can't stop suffering. Well, no, not as a physical being, but if we put out these taps and the psyche of all individuals agree not to agree to suffering, it ceases to exist. The reason 8-track tapes went obsolete is because people stopped agreeing to buy them. We release agreeing to suffering in all moments.
We release agreeing to suffering in all moments. We release agreeing to suffering in all moments. We release agreeing to suffering in all moments. We release agreeing to suffering in all moments. We release agreeing to suffering in all moments.
Suffering is eradicated in all moments.
Suffering is eradicated in all moments. Suffering is eradicated in all moments. Suffering is eradicated in all moments. Suffering is eradicated in all moments. Suffering is eradicated in all moments.
So, can you tell me? I put out single taps with instructions on how to do one tap. I put them out on social media. Can you tell me why that makes people so angry and they're like, attack me for putting those out?
This I'm going to have to think about for a moment because that is hard to. Why don't they? They don't
I
want
got the
us.
answer.
Okay.
I got the answer. They're afraid of being losing their illusion. They're enjoying their illusion. We release choosing illusion over everything. We release choosing illusion at all costs in all moments.
We release choosing illusion at all costs in all moments. We release choosing illusion at all cost in all moments. We release choosing illusion at all cost in all moments. We release choosing illusion at all cost in all moments. We release choosing illusion at all cost, at all moments.
Yeah. We dissipate all pockets of want and need in all moments.
We dissipate all pockets of want and need in all moments. We dissipate all pockets of want and need in all moments. We dissipate all pockets of want and need in all moments. We dissipate all pockets of want and need in all moments. We dissipate all pockets of want and need in all moments.
So I want you to imagine something that's really dark right now. I want you to imagine yourself laying there on a slab in a body bag, zipped up. You can't get out. I want you then to visualize a machete from within. Your intentions are a machete. Rip open that body bag from within and let yourself free. Now
Yeah.
get out and shake off the body bag and unfurl your wings and feel the light and the wind and the breeze and the sparkles and the whole room change to light. We break through the sarcophagus of the lower worlds in all moments.
We break through the sarcophagus of the lower worlds in all moments. We break through the sarcophagus of the lower worlds in all moments. We break through the sarcophagus of the lower worlds in all moments. We break through the sarcophagus of the lower worlds in all moments. We break through the sarcophagus of the lower worlds in all moments.
Okay, so I'm seeing, like, you know how we had that visual of you struggling in your pain and you were under the water suffocating? I'm seeing most individuals out there are suffocating in the lower worlds. We give an oxygen tank to all those. We give the oxygen of truth to all those struggling in the lower worlds in all moments.
We give an oxygen.
We give the oxygen of truth.
We give the oxygen of truth to all those struggling in the lower worlds in all moments. We give the oxygen of truth to all those struggling in the lower worlds in all moments. We give the oxygen of truth to all those struggling in the lower worlds in all moments. We give the oxygen of truth to all those struggling in the lower worlds in all moments. We give the oxygen of truth to all those struggling in the lower worlds in all moments.
Last tap. All beings break through consciousness to the higher realms in all moments.
All beings break through
Consciousness.
All beings.
But here, let me word it differently for you. All souls break through to higher consciousness in all moments.
All souls break through to higher consciousness in all moments. All souls break through to higher consciousness in all moments. All souls break through to higher consciousness in all moments. All souls break through to higher consciousness in all moments. All souls break through to higher consciousness in all moments.
So why does that make you emotional?
Because this is what the animals and have been waiting for. You know, I just felt the presence of a deer I've seen the last few nights, and he was just smiling at that. He was like, that's what we are, you know, that's what we were waiting for. That's what we need from people.
So what's interesting is humans think that there's a superior being on Earth. They're only superior in being able to do the most damage. The trees have wisdom, the whales have wisdom, even every blade of grass. Every aspect of life knows how to be grateful, except for humans. And it's almost like the humans are the scourge of existence. And all of life is trying to assist them in letting go of their senility, that they're so important, and slough off that skin and join
Yes.
the enjoying life. So
Yes, that's so important, that point, Jen. So important. And it's so motivating, I know, for me, you know, to just feel that joy of animals for doing the work. So
but
thank you.
it's not just animals, and it's not just foliage, and it's oxygen, it's rocks, it's inanimate objects, because they're the inanimate objects. Can you imagine? So I there's this a show over in Australia where these people go and they dig out these gems and they just knock them up. They just collect them out of the earth and just take them. And I'm thinking, does that does that rock? The rock has consciousness. It's living a good life, and it's like in its beingness. And some asshole comes along, rips it out, starts hitting it, breaking it apart, and destroying its beingness. And the same thing happens when they mine anything that comes from the earth. They own it, they traffic it, they they mold it and bend it into these horrendous things that are used to destroy other beings. And for any form of life that's not so twisted like humans, killing other things, except for like food in the food chain, killing other things is like an egregious violation of spiritual law, and it wouldn't happen. So
Mm.
this beautiful, pristine energy is being harvested out of the ground, amalgamated into a form that can kill things. And it's such a violation of spiritual law.
Wow, that's
Anything
huge.
that, yeah, anything that's done without gratitude or understanding of what's going on is a violation of spiritual law. We remove, we extract all the ignorance regarding spiritual law in all moments.
We extract all the ignorance regarding spiritual law in
No,
all
I didn't
moments.
put say it. Can you say it exactly the way I said it? Because it's a key
Yeah,
to open it. We extract all ignorance regarding spiritual law in all moments.
we extract all ignorance regarding spiritual law in all moments. We extract all ignorance regarding spiritual law in all moments. We extract all ignorance regarding spiritual law in all moments. We extract all ignorance regarding spiritual law in all moments. We extract all ignorance regarding spiritual law in all moments.
We remove all blockages to a universal understanding and respect of spiritual law in all moments.
We remove all blockages to a universal understanding of spiritual law in all moments. We remove all blockages to a universal understanding of spiritual law in all moments. We remove all blockages to a universal understanding of spiritual law in all moments. We remove all blockages to a universal understanding of spiritual law in all moments. We remove all blockages to a universal understanding of spiritual law in all moments.
So, can you like look out your own eyes and see where the ego is? Like, I can see like when someone's like being a know-it-all. Do they know their ego? Can they see their own ego in that?
I think it's a rare person who can. I don't,
Well, it might be through the process of going through enlightenment, but it's really helpful when people can see their own ego and when it's rearing up and stuff. We remove all blockages to a universal adherence to spiritual law in all moments.
we remove all blockages to a universal adherence to spiritual law in all moments. We remove all blockages to a universal adherence to spiritual law in all moments. We remove all blockages to a universal adherence to spiritual law in all moments. We remove all blockages to a universal adherence to spiritual law in all moments. We remove all blockages to a universal adherence to spiritual law in all moments.
All, all of life is centered and empowered in, in adherence to spiritual law in all moments.
All of life is centered and empowered in adherence to spiritual law in all moments. All of life is centered and empowered in adherence to spiritual law in all moments. All of life is centered and empowered in adherence to spiritual law in all moments. All of life is centered and empowered in adherence to spiritual law in all moments. All of life is centered and empowered in adherence to spiritual law in all moments.
All of life resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in adherence to spiritual law in all moments.
All of life resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in adherence to spiritual law in all moments. All life resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in adherence to spiritual law in all moments. All life resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in adherence to spiritual law in all moments. All life resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in adherence to spiritual law in all moments. Did I do that right? All life resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in adherence to spiritual law in all moments.
Mm-hmm. Take a deep breath. So, was this the session that you wanted?
Absolutely. I mean,
So, what's
it's all,
interesting? Oh, sorry.
no, I never knew where it's going to go, but I really glad.
That's what's interesting is because I've had many sessions, thousands and thousands of sessions by now. Not any one, two sessions are alike, and everybody has their own reason to doing a session. I love the sessions where people who are waking up want to help other people wake up, and they say, I want to donate a session and time to like plug it into the humanity and see what all individuals need to wake up, and let's do it. So I love those sessions. So thank you. But I also want you to get your needs met as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm just grateful to do the work and to, yeah, I mean, brought, brought to my awareness lots of things, as always, you know,
Good.
so.
Well, anything you want to say before we to the listeners?
I, you know, the more I do this work, the more interconnected I see how we all are. And, you're not just helping yourself profoundly in a deep fashion by having a private session like this, but you're helping free really the collective of things as well. And Jen, honestly, I wouldn't do this work with anyone else. I wouldn't trust, so I just
Well, I don't know about that. I just, you know, I just, I never set out this lifetime. I was just trying to get by in this lifetime. But when you get banged around enough in life, there's a great vantage point to see what other people need. So a lot of people think that the way they get abused and hurt and are in pain is in a vacuum, but it's not. If you're in that kind of pain, trust that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people are in a similar pain and not worse. So you can use that awareness of that pain, that intimacy with that pain, and use it as a surrogate for the collective if you really want to do some good. And do tasks to release your own pain. Maybe do a session with me to release that pain, but also release it for the masses as well.
I mean, you're a profound resource, and I just encourage people to trust their gut and heart. And you're, yeah, I just, you operate from love, but a bat. Could I just say badass love? But
It is what it is. I mean,
yeah,
anyways, my mother was ruthless, and that was helpful, I guess, to be able to do that energy work. But you you do amazing work in the world now too. What do you do? That's what. That's the It doesn't matter what I do. What do you
Yeah,
do? And what does 8 billion people do to uplift all of humanity? Let's get on it together, people, right?
right. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I appreciate you allowing us to share this time together and helping other people. So thank you for caring.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. And no offense about the house coat lifetime.
Yeah.
All right. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
If you like this content and you appreciate the work that we're doing to uplift all of humanity and to help heal your body, mind, and soul, please consider becoming a Genuine Healing premium content subscriber. Simply jump onto the Genuine Healing website, genuinehealing.com with a J, and click on the purchase button on the top menu. Scroll down, there's a premium content option. Click on that, sign up. It's a simple monthly plan for $20 a month, and you will have access to all of the premium content that we put up on the Genuine Healing website. We look forward to catching you next time, and bye for now.